DeIdentifier supports running built-in AI algorithms using a batch mode to process a folder of studies. This option will skip the web interface and no longer requires a login to the web server. To begin with, place all studies that you desire to de-identify within a folder named batch data. The overall file organization within the batch data folder does not matter, as DeIdentifier's batch data will automatically parse through the entire folder for all series. To begin the batch mode process, you'll first need to log in to Docker by running the following docker login command to gain access to the Docker image repository. Once you've logged in, run the following command, which will download the latest Docker image for DeIdentifier. Once you've logged into Docker and pulled the latest DeIdentifier image, use the following line of code as a basis for any type of batch mode de-identification. Adding any additional components to this line of code will change the overall output and the type of de-identification that's run, which we'll go over within this video. The shortcut $home/batch data indicates that the batch data folder is within the following location. However, if you wish to change the location of the batch data folder, the specific line will need to be changed to where the folder is being placed in order for the batch data de-identification to run properly. There are 8 main arguments that can be added to the command line to specify the de-identification being run. The first option, -d, will indicate the de-identification type. On default, DeIdentifier will export to DICOM, but you're able to specify the de-identification type to nifty using this argument, followed by the file type in lowercase. The next argument, -p, will allow the user to set a de-identification prefix. When exporting to DICOM, this prefix is used as a prefix in the new patient ID. For nifty, this prefix is used in the output file name. For example, if -pn is added to the argument, all created new patient IDs during de-identification will be set as n_0001, n_0002, etc. The default is to not prefix the new patient ID. Next, the -dt argument will set the date-time de-identification on the studies when exporting to DICOM. By default, all dates and date times are shifted by a fixed number of days, from 90 days up to 30 years, based on the patient ID. However, this can be customized by adding the following options after the argument. Empty will empty the date times, shift is the default, and unchanged will leave the date times unchanged. The -ri argument will allow for institutional DICOM headers to be retained or not. By default, the headers will be de-identified, but can be retained by adding true following the argument. The argument -a allows you to choose whether to anonymize the face or the burned-in text of the data. By default, no face and no burned-in text is de-identified. Adding f following the argument enables face anonymization, and adding t activates burned-in text anonymization. In case of performing both face and burned-in text anonymization, separate the two options with a comma. If de-identifying burned-in text, the -t argument will allow you to choose the type of burned-in text anonymization. Adding a after this argument will de-identify all text, while adding p will de-identify only detected PHI. If you wish to specify the path of a non-DICOM CSV file that should be anonymized, using the -m argument followed by the path of the file will allow you to select this CSV file. Lastly, the -n argument allows you to choose the number of threads or cores that are used to run de-identification. By default, half the computer threads or cores are used if available. Once the desired de-identification options have been selected, press Enter within the command prompt, and batch mode de-identification will begin automatically. You will know that batch mode has been completed when you're able to enter a new line within the command prompt. Once the segmentation has been completed, the output will be put in a new folder titled Output within the original batch data folder. The first will be a log file, which will indicate any errors that may have occurred, as well as the results of the de-identification. Next, there will be a folder containing the study mappings of each study, which will include a pickle file for each de-identified study. The final folder will be the name of the output format, DICOM or Nifty. The DICOM folder includes all de-identified series following the folder scheme new patient ID, new study ID, new series instance UID for each series. The Nifty folder has all the de-identified Nifty files within the .nii.gz extension. For more information regarding batch mode, and any sort of outputs and arguments that are run during the segmentation process, please follow the batch mode instructions for DeIdentifier.